Good afternoon and welcome to Kuwait City, our host for the first round of the UIM-ABP Aquabike Class Pro World Grand Prix of Kuwait. Today, on the first day of the GP of Kuwait, our riders have an opportunity to set the pace, not just for this race, but for an entire year of racing. Now listen, as these racers finish launching their boats off of this tricky beach, we're getting ready to launch into a very intense season. We are looking to span the Middle East, Asia, and Europe this year in a very impressive round. You are watching the start of the tour right here at the Grand Prix of Kuwait. First time we've had the opportunity to be here. We're incredibly lucky to have Kuwait City as our gracious host for the first time in the Aquabike World Championship Tour. And we, of course, are at this race site, the GP of Kuwait. It's the sandy Salmiya Bay. We are looking at a counterclockwise, a right-hand course, 31 buoys, 1.9 kilometers for the runabout, 1.8 kilometers for ski, and a great afternoon of racing. It was very chilly this morning. And we've got a lot of great racing coming at you. We're debating whether I was talking about that right-hand side, the right course, off camber. All right, we've got skis out there qualifying right now. Let's talk a little bit about what qualifying is all about. Instead of racing, what we're doing is we're trying to get the fastest time. Strategy is going to be the name of the game for these racers. And you are watching as we just get ready to go. 15-minute is going to be the qualifying time. All of the riders will be out in the first qualifier. We are only going to invite the top 10 out for the next qualifying session, and that top 10 will be at that point hunting for their top 10 opportunity at a pole position. Well, that's the status right now, and man, after an intense year last year, we're getting the opportunity to watch the young ladies, and this one's the comeback kid. That is Krista Uzar, who had a world title nailed in 2018, right before she came into the 2019 season. She had a wicked break on her leg, and a lower leg and her ankle, and she had to take several of the races out last year, unfortunately, as she rehabbed. She came back in for the first time in China in October, and let's see if she is able to put together a season in 2020 and grab her title back. The young lady that is going to make that a little bit tricky had a perfect season last season. That would be Eminelli Ortendahl, the rider on that 98 boat, and that is a Quentin Bosch QB1 boat that she rode to victory last year on that final round in Sharjah, and she has some pretty incredible interview. Tell you what, speaking of last year, let's take a look.
I'm looking forward to get out there and to put on a great show.
And if you want to pass somebody, you have to be strong.
My mental is strong for sure. I know what my goal is.
We're going to do our best and hopefully push as strong as we can.
The race is on. Riders storm off the beach. They're in a drag race to the hole shots. Go neck and neck. The race is on. Great start for Belgian Quentin Bosch as he rockets out ahead. Jeremy Perez is going head-to-head with Wisniewski in third position. Anders Keller falls off his ski. They collide. Ryder is in the water.
Couple of turns, and Marcus Jorgensen just went down. Jeremy Perez took the win.
Kevin Ryder is the Ski Division GP1 World Champion.
Backflip, wow, and the crowd loved it.
The last lap of the race, Ortendahl has done it. That concludes another UIM-ABP Aquabike Championship season. See you in 2020.
Welcome back as we give you some live footage here at the Grand Prix of Kuwait, and that was an opportunity to look back at 2019. We were crashing, dashing, and splashing, but at the end of the day, it was all about that road to Sharjah and that final round when we saw incredible racing from both the world champion Jeremy Perez and Marcus Jorgensen in that runabout class, and then Kevin Rederer on a juggernaut of a season in the ski class, and of course Emanuele Ortendahl taking that championship. But man, she had great company with Jana Borgstrom on her best season ever. And we get ready for a big round this year. I can't wait to see what the young ladies from Sweden are going to be able to do. And of course, we've got Krista Uzar from Latvia, and all the ladies on the water right now for this first qualifier. And you're taking a look down at that time, 14:35:39 on the clock. Here's the fastest time thus far. Jana Borgstrom has come up to the top of that with a 1:41.63 is her fastest time. And her current lap, 1:41.57 for her. Jana Borgstrom right behind her, 1:41.63. And Emanuele Ortendahl just passed her with a 1:41.57, but a 1:41.63 was the fastest time in that last lap. Emanuele just passed with less than, oh my God, it's 0.06 of a second different between those two. Yasmin Ypres right in the hunt with a 1:42.26. Krista Uzar currently in that fourth place spot with a 1:43.24. And when I say fourth, I just mean fourth in time. We're qualifying. Sophie Borgstrom, 1:43.83. She's got the fifth fastest time. Estelle Perret with the sixth fastest time, 1:44.41. Jessica Chavon fighting off a bit of an illness. Not sure what that is. Went to the doctor right before they came out here, hoping to get those tests back as she gets the opportunity to get back home. Hopefully she will be just fine, but right now suffering from some kind of respiratory thing. 1:44.99. Lisa Kazan Battaglia in that eighth place spot with a 1:45.28 is her fastest time. For Jenny Morales in ninth, Kylie Elmers in 10th. That's what it looks like for qualifying. You are watching the Grand Prix of Kuwait. We get an opportunity, speaking of Kuwait and Kuwait City, to take a look at this gorgeous location. You're looking at Kuwait and Kuwait City. Kuwait Towers, a slender group of 3 towers and a symbol of modern Kuwait, as well as some of the newest architecture, followed by some of the more famous locales like the fish market in Kuwait City that you see here. And of course, they have the Grand Mosque. It's Kuwait's official mosque with 45,000 square meters, and the prayer hall, which has over 144 windows. Kuwait is made up of 9 islands, mainly oil-rich deserts, and we got just an opportunity to see a tiny sliver of this magnificent country. Back to the race action and the qualifying out on the water. You're watching Sophie Borgstrom as she sneaks through on this right-hand course. And what you're watching there was that front stretch. Inside-outside splits, again designated for 2020. First round, we've got the green buoys for the inside, blue buoys for that outside split. Pretty short front stretch. Then they go into a pretty high-speed triple right-hand turn right off of a artificial dock that is going to be pushing. You can actually see that artificial wall pushed out. And that is going to make that right-hand turn very technical, and you can see that high-speed right-hand turn off the front stretch on that left-hand side of the screen. Before we go much further, let's catch up with the young lady that's got the current fastest time, Emanuele Ortendahl.
Today coming year and all the racing that we will do together. So they will support me in the World Championship, and I'm really, really honored to be the first woman ever to sign with this Abu Dhabi team. So it means a lot to me, and this will bring my racing a step further and a step further to my goal to be even more professional. So of course I'm looking forward to try to grab the world title next year too. And yeah, I'm super happy.
Well, welcome back to the GP of Kuwait as I get a lesson in clockwise and counterclockwise. Let me correct the comment. We have a right-hand course today, not a counterclockwise course. Oh, that was priceless. All right, let's check some of these times here as we finish this up. We've got 9 minutes, 49 seconds on the clock. And Eminelli Ortendahl with a 141.57. Jana Borksham with a 141.63 in second. Yasmin Iprow still third with a 142.26. Estelle Perret in fourth with a 142.30. Krista Uzar in fifth with a 143.24. Now, again, in qualifying, way that's going to work. We're going to take the top 10 and we're going to bring it back out in the session, second session, or Q2. You're watching qualifying right here at the Grand Prix of Kuwait in Kuwait City as we go clockwise, and yet it's right. Shout out to all the racers out in Florida that have tuned in today on Facebook Live. Great to have you joining us, Doug and all the gang. Edvard Fatorik, good to see you too, sir. And hello from Poland. And a shout out all, of course, for Andrzej Wisniewski, who we're going to see up in just a little bit in qualifying, as well as all the other riders from Poland. And hello to Juliet Brandau. Good to have you on the live feed as well. And speaking of comebacks, there's a young lady we got the opportunity to watch in 2018. That's Molly Fern representing for the UK as she comes out with some relatively quiet water. It's 11 minutes into this, but we had quite a few riders pull off. Let's see if she's able to move up. Her fastest time was a 1:53.94. She's cruising through that back stretch, which was a relatively straight shot. And then now on the outside split. She's got a good time running. Let's see what she comes up with. She's got to move a little bit to get invited back out into this next session. Only going to be inviting the top 10 riders, and a brand new paint job for her for 2020. You're watching Molly Fern. See that tow hook bouncing off the front of that ski as she comes through, and she does move up. Let's see. Moved up to 151.54. She's still one out. She's in that 11th place spot. .150.06 actually was her time, a 150.06. And watching boat number 88, Johanna Johansson, Johanna from Sweden. Actually used to ride horses. She was a jumper and eventer and switched over to jet ski racing along with her family, of course, Johan Johansson. And of course her brother, Sam Johansson. Only three riders actually on the water at the moment. That's going to give her a little bit better opportunity. Water's calmed down a little. Let's see if she's able to move up. 2019, her best actually, 8th place in Moto 2 in Qingdao in China. Got a 9th overall on the World Championship Tour. She also got an 8th last year in the European round in Penafiel. And that was her first full year of racing with us. She showed up in 2018 at the final round in 2018 in Sharjah. Didn't race, but got the bug. Came out for a whole year last year. Rides for Team Sweden and Team Arrogance. aboard at Kawasaki. And let's see what Janina's time as she comes through. She's in 10th, 1:46.62 for Janina Johansson. That's going to be good enough to move her into an opportunity for an invitation to go back out for Q2. She's been practicing last year with the girls, Eminelie Ortendahl and Sophie and Jonna Borgstrom. All four of those riders have been practicing quite a bit together, and you can see that all four of them have been improving with it too. Boat number 44 making a run. This is Joana Graça from Portugal. Best moto last year was a 10th. That was her second moto in Olbia. She had a 9th place in the Euro standings, 12th overall last year on the World Championship Tour. Watching the UIM-ABP Aqua Bike season opener right here in Kuwait. And Joana Graça on the gas as she comes off of that front stretch. Red flag out. It's going to be the final opportunity for her lap. Molly Fern trying to sneak into the top 10. And because she went across the checkered line before they called that, they're going to let that be a part of this 15 minutes. So the clock has stopped. We have one rider left that has an opportunity to go into the top 10. You're watching Molly Fern. Molly once again on that outside split. Little bit of cavitation as she pops the front of that boat out of the water. Will that cause her to not have a good time to get to the top 10? Let's see what she ends up with. You're watching Molly Fern as she comes back. 1:48.85, great run. Not enough to knock off the young lady from Sweden out of that 10th place spot. It's going to be Janina Johansson for 10th. Lisa Kassan Battalion 9th, Virginia Morales in 8th, Jessica Chavon in 7th, Sophie Borgstrom in 6th, Krista Uzar in 5th, Estelle Perret in 4th, Yasmini Prouse in 3rd, Jonna Borgstrom in 2nd, and Eminelie Ortendahl in 1st in that first qualifier. Top 10 will be going back out. This next one's going to be a 10-minute. So 10 for 10 coming at you. Joana Graça also trying to sneak in. She was really close. She came with a 1:46.70. And 1:46.62 was the difference. But that was Janina Johansson. With those final two riders, neither one able to knock Janina Johansson off of the 10th place spot. You're watching ladies qualifying in day one of a great set of races. Where are the waves? I agree. Apparently it was pretty cold yesterday. 5 degrees in the morning. Unusual in a gorgeous city that you come to the beach and hang out in Kuwait and you have 5-degree weather in the morning. Little bit nippy yesterday. Sunny skies are what greeted us this morning, and nice flat water, great conditions for qualifying. I am with all of you guys on Facebook, though. It definitely needs to get a lot rougher for tomorrow. I see Tara Lejo has signed in. Great to have you. Fleming Sorensen from Denmark. Let's roll despite cold water all year round. Hey, Victoria. Hello to you, too. Severi Salonen. Who gonna win that GP1 pole position? I do not know, sir. I do believe Frederick Daniel will be on later this afternoon. That answers your question for Facebook. But I tell you what, let's take a quick break. We'll be right back with even more qualifying. Welcome back to the UIM-ABP Aquabike Grand Prix of Kuwait. The question was tossed out, who's going to get the pole position for tomorrow's first set of motos? Well, if you're anything like the guys that like to watch the horse racing, you know, where they go out and they watch the horses breeze in the morning and they start making the bets early before they place the actual bets. Well, that's kind of what we did this morning. We went out and watched practice, and here's some of the free practice results as these guys get ready. And this is going to be Krista Uzar that you see on the camera for this second round, but it was Kevin Redwer this morning that had the fastest lap time with a 1:34.63. Right behind him, guess who's back? Michael Prix, and he had a great time, 1:41.83. Well, that was your teaser for the men's class. Let's come back to some of these fast ladies. And who had the fastest time this morning in free practice in the women's class? So glad you asked. 1:44.42, fastest time, and that was posted by Eminelli Ortendahl this morning. Yasmin Eprouse came in second in the practice, 1:45.21. Her second, it was the second fastest time, and that was Yasmin Eprouse from Estonia. And man, that girl has been a rocket ship. And you are watching Estelle and the rest of the ladies. That's Jonna Borgstrom on boat 25 and Eminelli Ortendahl. Both coming through the right-hand side of the track. And she's just going to move over and let Eminelli make that run. And they are over on it's a very, if you were looking at portrait versus a landscape on a picture, this course is laid out exactly like that. It goes very deep back into Salmia Bay. So it's a portrait setup. It's not wide, it is deep in that direction, and they've got a straight backstretch on the back part of that, and it's big. It's a 1.9 kilometer course for, 1.8 for the skis, 1.9 for Runabout. Here comes Krista Uzar on boat number 95. Interesting that they set the pace so early in this run. Let's wait till they get this first full lap, which they are on the clock right now. 14:52.03, and this will be the lap that we are able to grab some times for you. Young lady you're watching, what an incredible set of statistics for her aboard that QB boat. Let's take a look at 2019. How did she do? Well, all motos with the exception of Moto 3 in Sharjah. She got 7th on a backup boat, didn't matter. Almost won back-to-back GPs last year. She got first overall with a 44-point lead in 2019. That is the young lady from Sweden. 2018 was incredible for her as well. She was the slalom champion in 2018. She had second Grand Prix of Gallipoli and a second overall. She also was the European champ in 2018. And the only thing keeping her from the top of the podium in 2018 was the young lady right behind her on that black boat with the red letters, and that would be Krista Uzar, who took a first-time ever world title on the UIM-ABP Aquabike Tour in 2018. Had the opportunity to catch up with Krista, and she's had a long road of rehab after that multiple fracture on her ankle. But man, she started to look good, and especially in Sharjah, you could tell that that old familiar magic was back on top of the boat. Will she be able to put it all together for 2020? Speaking of 2020, look at boat 25. That young lady was spectacular in 2019, and she also had to come back from an incredible injury. And how interesting that Jonna Borgstrom took her first ever win on the same layout, same course design, where she broke her arm in multiple places just the year prior to that, and managed to come back last year and take the win. And it was just a bizarre coincidence that we had the same course design last year, and she rocked it. One of the strongest ladies out on the boat, and I love her attitude. You're watching Eminelli Ortendahl. Let's get some times as they come through on this one. Q2. And again, it's a 10-minute qualifier, 8.5 minutes. 8:23. And Emma's on the right-hand side of this track, and she'll pick a split in just a second. Get an opportunity to see which direction she goes. You're watching Jonna Borgstrom with her best season ever. And already they've been out training in the water, breaking ice to get out in some cold, cold water racing for both her and her sister, Sophie Borgstrom. And look how well she is riding that Kawasaki. Now, mind you, when she went down in that crash in Sharjah, when they first started coming back, she could not feel her hand at all. She is doing great. And Emma-Nelly Ortendahl just took a break. Let's look at this time. Certainly an improvement. She had a 1:41 in the last one, 1:41 to a 1:37.97 for Emma-Nelly Ortendahl. And Jonna Borgstrom with a 1:39.40. Estelle Perret with a 1:40.92. First opportunity to get some times, and she is wasting none of it with this. Let's see how Krista Uzar looks. She pops into this mix. She's in fourth now with a 1:40.10. Yasmin Epraus comes across, edges her out with a 1:39.52. Here's your top three again. Emma-Nelly Ortendahl, 1:37.97. Jonna Borgstrom, 1:39.40. And a Yasmin Epraus at a 1:39.52. 8/100ths of a second between boat 25 and boat 64 on that one. Estelle Perret right there, 1:40.92. Sophie Borgstrom with a 1:41.60. Jessica Chavon with a 1:43.19. And Virginia Morales with a 1:43.63. And I couldn't tell you who was more excited last year after watching the win from Jonna Borgstrom. We got the chance to catch up with Haken. And Jonna was in tears and Haken was in tears. Still think it was him that was a little more excited with that win than she was. Certainly well earned. Won moto number 3 in Sharjah, best finish at first Grand Prix of Sharjah, second overall in the World Championship. She had a 45% increase in performance from 2018, and you look at the points per stop. Her best in 2018 was a 4th place, and that was at the Grand Prix of Sharjah. Nordic Princess on boat number 64, currently up in third, 1:39.52. First lady to ever take a world title on the UIM-ABP Aquabike World Championship Tour on boat 95. When I had the chance to talk to Yasmin last year, she is one of those riders, when you watch her on the water, she really will take your breath away. She rides that boat right on the edge. A lot of these racers, as we had the opportunity to talk to the mechanics last year, to include Chris Hagest, a lot of them have been at the point where they're a bit concerned about how fast the boats will go, right? Like how fast is too fast. So what they'll do is they'll detune slightly depending on the race conditions. Yasmin Epraus, on the other hand, loves the aggressiveness on that boat. She does not choose to ride that boat at all detuned or smooth. So she rides aggressively, and that puts her right on the edge of brilliance or disaster, and we saw both in Sharjah last year. She went off in a critical moment on the start in moto number 2. She is definitely going to be one of the ladies to watch, and as I look at the time, she hasn't moved off of that 3rd place, a 1:39.52 for Yasmin Epraus. Jonna Borgstrom second, 1:39.40. And nobody's toppled this time thus far, 1:37.97. So a 5-second difference between their free practice and these qualifying times. That difference being the quieter water. Again, your schedule today, just to give you a quick rundown, Ski Ladies is going to be first, followed by Ski Division, GP, and then, of course, Runabout and Freestyle. That's what our schedule looks like for today. Again, we're all qualifying today. And as we take a look down at the time, we've got about 3 more minutes left on the clock. Taking a look down, Eminelli Ortendahl, no change, 137.97, still leading. She's got an opportunity to have that pole position. And speaking of people that get pole positions quite often, and last I checked, looked like you were in the Guinness Book of World Records. Is this true?
Yes, that's correct.
Oh, how are you? I'm here with Yosef Abdul Razak.
That was for winning the most wins in the Occupy World Championship, which is in total 4 times.
4 times you took that.
Yes.
And now you're in the Guinness Book of World Records. That's pretty cool.
It was a while ago, probably 2 or 3 years ago.
Speaking of first, this is the first time we've had the opportunity to be in the city of Kuwait. This is your hometown.
Yes, it's amazing. We are very blessed to have it here and have everyone coming. Also, the weather forecast is amazing. It was cold yesterday and the day before, but it's known to be 5 degrees more tomorrow and after tomorrow with clear skies. Everything is good, and we're excited.
I really appreciate you turning up the heat for me. I heard it was pretty nippy yesterday.
It was the coldest of the year.
Yeah, figures. All right, we're just watching the final couple of minutes here. You'll see Jonna Borgstrom. Before we go any further, just a quick update. Eminelli Ortendahl, 137.97. Jonna Borgstrom in second with a 139.40. Yasmini Prouse in third with a 139.52. Krista Uzar in fourth with a 140.10. And Estelle Perret with a 140.92. So I have a question from strategy perspective, because you've done this a lot. In the qualifying, how do you play strategy in qualifying and get to that top 10?
We went with our new ski, which is the Turbo. It is a more powerful ski, good for flat water conditions, but we are a bit concerned with the fuel, so we're going to be going low on the power, and then if we need more, we can push it. So we'll see how it goes after the pole position.
All right. Maybe a little bit more mellow on the power, but stick it in the water and run a good lap.
Yes, we're going to work on the handling and see, because it's a quite technical course, and I actually like it a lot. And we're going to see how we do and then adjust tomorrow morning.
Well, I think if I was going to get tips and advice from anybody, you would be one of the first ones I'd go to how to win a world title. Thank you so much for your time, bud.
Thank you.
All right, we'll see you on the water in just a little bit. You were listening to Yosef Abdul Razak, 4-time world champion right here on the UIM-ABP Aquabike World Championship Tour. We get the opportunity to see him and all the rest of the gang in just a little bit of the Runabout class. You're watching the final couple of seconds of the second qualifying for Eminelli Ortendahl, Jonna Borgstrom, and the rest of the ladies. This is Ladies GP1. Great question. I don't see much else out here besides the SXRs. I had a couple of questions on that. So in the ski division, technical specs, by the way, engine 2-stroke, max of 1,300 cc's, or you can go to a 4-stroke, but your max on that is 1,620 cc's. Turbo 4-stroke, max 1,000 cc's. Dry weight, by the way, we measure as well, can't be over 114 kgs, and it can't be longer than 280 centimeters, and it can't be wider than 85 centimeters. Other than that, you can go full bore. Horsepower, by the way, has to measure between 170 and 200. We also take a look at the 0 to 60 mile per hour, and you can't exceed 2.5 to 3 seconds. So there a little bit of a rundown on ski division and what the technical specs on that, because I had a few questions about that on the live feed. Thank you guys for asking. There's your update. Hey, Jeff Lakeford and Jonathan Owens, good morning to you. Peter Anderson, great to have you here. Jose Rodriguez. I see Marta Sorrentino Perez is watching. shout out to you and congratulations on the beautiful, beautiful baby. And Doug, hope I answered your question on that. Will GP4 ladies be in Portugal this year? Not sure. I'm not sure if that full calendar has been posted, but go check on aquabike.net. Would be the place to look for that as we bring the girls in. That's going to be the finals on the qualifying. And again, Eminelli Ortendahl will have the pole position starting tomorrow. Chris Duzar right next to her. Jonna Borgstrom in third. Yasmini Prouse in fourth. Estelle Perret. That'll be the top 5 on the pole position. Virginia Morales 6th, Sophie 7th, Jessica Siobhan 8th, Lisa Kassan Battalion 9th, Janina Johansson will be 10th. By the way, we are doing a beach start tomorrow. So as you know, we had the opportunity on this tour to do a running start, but also do a beach start. We have that choice in between. Tomorrow, we're going to be doing beach starts right here in Kuwait City. You're watching the qualifying action in Salmiya Bay. Coming up next, it's going to be men's ski GP1. Oh. We'll be right back after this short break. All right, welcome back, you guys. We are getting ready to get the guys in the water, and you can see the biggest challenge this weekend has been getting these boats launched on and off the beach. We're at a brand new location, and generally we've had docks that we can work with where we can get these guys in and out through a dock system, but this particular area, gorgeous beach. We're right in Salmiya Bay, and we are having to do it old school style, and we are bringing these guys in and out by beach access. So it's been pretty entertaining to watch them negotiate with the other teams to get their boats in and out of the water. Great camaraderie as I get the opportunity to watch Kevin Redder as he sports that beautiful, beautiful helmet handmade for him. And we have an interview with Kevin Redder to show you. Let's catch up and see how boat number 90 is.
I feel amazing, you know, just reminds me of when I was a kid and I just went out there to ride, have a good time, and you know, I put my head down and I just loved every second on the ski, and I really enjoyed the time out there, and I would not miss it. So no matter if I was first or last, I would have just, you know, played like a child, and that's why the success is there.
Welcome back to the UIM-ABP Aquabike Grand Prix of Kuwait, your season opener. Your two-time defending world champion, Kevin Redder, boat number 90, riding for the Victory team, and his good friend Chris Wilkinson, been a team manager for him this last year, and they have been unstoppable. One of the biggest Cinderella stories for 2019 came out of Sweden. That's Dan Anderson, Norway. That's Dan Anderson with incredible stats. 2019, he had a second place, both Moto 1 and Moto 3 in Portimao. got a second in Portimao and Qingdao, and a second overall on the UIM-ABP Aquabike World Championship Tour in 29. His best ever season and his best ever finish. 2018, prior to that, his best was a 6th in Sharjah. So keep your eye out for boat number 88. Rides for Team Cav Racing. And we have opened the water on this right-hand course, and you can see that it is going to be pretty tight. We have 62 riders that are going to be on the water, but let's take a look at the number of riders in the ski division. 17 on the water. And we got to watch them this morning in practice. Kevin Redward posted the fastest time with a 1:34.63. And it was Michael Prix who just came back. We missed him in 2019, but he's back in 2020. And he pulled down a very fast lap in practice, a 1:41.83, putting him second in that posting. It was Stian Schvetline with a 1:42.54 in third. And Lucas Benar on boat number 87 from the Czech Republic with a 1:43.75 in fourth. And Barnabas Szabo in fifth from Hungary with a 1:44.37. That's how practice looked. Oliver Hansen was in sixth. Dan Anderson in seventh. Abdullah Alamadi in eighth. Gabor Szabo in ninth. And Mads Hansen in 10th. Battling for pole positions this afternoon. And you can see the shark back there lurking. Kevin Redward waiting for some clean water as they get ready to go. They're going to cross the finish line after this first lap and then be on time. See another very familiar face out there, boat number 36. Nacho Armias. Who joined us back on the tour and started racing again after a multiple break in his thigh. And good to have Nacho Armias back out on the water as well. And Kevin Redward lights up the fires as he gets ready to go on his first run. We're watching a 15-minute qualifier, which will be firing off shortly. They're going to give him a couple laps to break the water. And as soon as they get this water broke up, they will start the time. What a year. His best finishes last year, that would be all motos. Only second was in moto number 1 in Olbia. Got a first overall, and check the leads out. He had a 99-point lead. One of his favorite wins was a back-to-back GP wins he pulled off. He also was a European champion in 2019. Boat number 28, well, that's Szabo Barnabas. In 2019, best, fourth in all motos in Olbia. Got a best finish, third in Olbia. Ended up fifth overall. Him and his brother both race. Actually is nominated this year as a rider rep. We'll see after our voting how that ends up. You're looking at boat 26. Andrea Guidi from Italy. And we are on the clock, 14:06. Andrea Guidi had a good year last year as well. Best fifth in Moto 1, Qingdao. Started out good, ended up in 18th overall in the World Championship. He also got the whole shot of that moto in Qingdao. Ended up in 5th place in that run. Got a 9th in the UIM European Pinnafield Stop. You've got to be one of the riders to watch. He is lighting it up on that backstretch. 1.8 kilometers, what they're looking for, and you can already see some of the boats parking back there to watch some of the action. Now that backstretch is tricky because it's a straight shot, but what they have done, just naturally, the way the wind's coming into this bay, these waves are coming in off camber to that backstretch. So that's going to create some pretty wicked conditions for these guys and an easy opportunity for them to grab the side of the boat and roll it over. And as they come through, let's see what some of these times are. You've got 2 minutes in. Hey, Andre Lynn, thanks so much. And definitely good luck to other riders. Very technical course, but you know, I don't really want to talk about the technical course because I've got an expert here that can give me an update on some of the trickier portions of this. I'm here with Krista Uzar. Hey, how are you?
Very good.
Good. I want to get a little bit of an update, and I love the fact you've got a brand new vest that says carbon neutral program.
Yes, exactly. I like it as well.
We'll
It's
talk.
perfect.
We'll talk a little bit more about that, but let's talk a little bit about this course since we got the guys on it right now. Tell me about the technical aspects of this course.
I really love the course. It's really enjoying it. Like, this is very different from other courses because it's there's a variety. There are short turns, there are wide turns, there are doubles, singles, so it's really interesting to ride actually. And it's fast and at the same time technical.
I kind of wondered about that. So coming off the wall with that triple right-hand
Yes.
turn, is that nasty as it looks, or is that pretty easy?
I think the guys are going it full, so no wonder. Here as well, it's really actually interesting that the front stretch, the fastest one is here where the spectators can see it. I think it's going to be a lot of fun.
Nice.
For the viewers.
What about the backstretch? Did you find that to be a bit wonky, or was that pretty easy?
That is also really nice, and when the wind comes, it's going to be choppy and really nice. So it's really, really interesting. It's not only the wide turns and the fast ones, so it's both of them.
Now, have you guys noticed I say wonky, and she goes, oh, no, that's nice. You can tell the difference between somebody who loves the waves and somebody who is always like, oh, great, big waves.
Yeah, I know, we love the waves. Even this, like here, you can't actually see that there are waves, but there are some. Like, it's more like choppy, but it's still good to ride. This is what half of the athletes are hoping for.
Oh my gosh. All right, well, let's see how fast they're going. Don't you move. Krista Uzar. By the way, that lap time was a 1:34.63. That was the fastest time in practice for Kevin. Let's take a look and see what his fastest time with the real meal deal. And it's a 1:35.91. That's what Kevin Rederer just laid down in this qualifying time. Nacho Armia is in second with a 1:39.10. And then in third, it's going to be Barnabas Zabo. We got a chance to watch a bit of that run. He looked fast. 1:39.36. He's right in the hunt. Michael Prix in fourth with a 1:40.79. Anderson in fifth with a 1:41.20. And you are watching Nacho Armias. Let's see where he is on the time. In that second place, that 1:39.10. So
looks like Nacho is back.
Yeah, it does look like Nacho is back. It's not show time to quit. This guy is incredible after that multiple leg break. And you know, it's not the first time he's broke his leg. He's come back both times incredibly fast. I can't wait really to see what he does this year.
Racer to learn from.
Yeah, he really is.
Definitely.
He's got an iron heart, doesn't he?
Yep.
Speaking of comebacks, let's talk a little bit about that. You nailed it in 2018. You were in prime condition right before the start of the season in 2019. Disaster struck. You never missed a beat. Tell me a little bit about the rehab and how you're feeling.
Yeah, actually last season was kind of disastrous, but it was also the best season for me because I learned so much. If you don't have injuries or setbacks, you don't learn anything. So this was kind of great thing for me that happened, and that was just a spot on the podium that I'd missed, so it's nothing big for me.
You know, I love your attitude.
Yeah, and this year it's all about the fun. I'm not thinking about the times, I'm not thinking about the spot, so it's only to have fun and enjoy out there. I don't care about the place.
Now, I love the lightheartedness, but I will say one of the things I think is great about you is the warrior attitude. So you're selfless on the water, but you're also quite the warrior on the water. How are you feeling this year?
Yeah, you have to be.
True.
Because there are so many things that can happen. You always have to fight till the end. That's what you have to learn. The sooner you learn that, the better you will be off.
So let's cut to the chase. How are you feeling this year?
Good. I'm feeling really good. Ready.
Yeah, you look good. You're right in the top
Ready
5.
to race. Finally, I'm enjoying every minute there.
Well, we just finished this session as we got to catch up with Krista Uzar. As you heard, it was Kevin Redder. Oh, we did finish. Kevin Redder that took the top of that with a 1:35.91. Not as fast as his practice, which is interesting because your practice looked a little rougher. And then second place, Nacho Armias. Third is going to be Barnabas Szabo. Stian Schvatlein fourth. Michael Perret fifth. Dan Anderson sixth. Ulrich Bernsen in seventh. Axel Courtois in eighth. Oliver Hansen in ninth. And Gabor Szabo in 10th. By the way, I said we were done. We weren't quite done. We've got about 7.5 minutes left of that one. Krista Uzar said she's got a scoot. So we'll see her tomorrow, but it was great catching up with this young lady from Latvia. Best of luck to her. Marcus Lutzekert on boat number 11. Man with the golden shoes, and man, it's been all about gold out here. You've got Stian Schvatlein with that gorgeous Jet Tribe outfit. I don't know if you've had a chance to catch up. When we see him on the water, I'll point that out. It's a brand new wetsuit. He wore it for the first time last year in Thailand, and then we get the opportunity to see him sporting it here. But also with gold is this guy, and if you get a look at his shoes, you'll notice that he typically races with golden shoes. Marcus Lutzekert on boat number 11. Lutzekert in the qualifying right now. 1:56.65, gonna have to pick up the pace. This looks like it could be a good run. He's popping out of that water just a little bit, but as he comes to the front stretch, let's see what that time is gonna be for Marcus Lutzekert. You're watching boat number 11. Was back in 12th, and he jumped a bunch. 1:41.41 for Marcus Lutzekert, and that puts him right in the middle. He's in 7th place. Definitely get the opportunity, if he can hold that spot, to come back out for Q2. Don't forget, qualifying, second qualifying is going to be 10 minutes to determine where you're going to be in the top 10. I knew it was all about the 10s. I just couldn't say it right. So 10 for 10. There's Axel Courtois on boat number 95. He and Virginia Morales, so much fun to hang out with. Both look like little red devils out there, and that's 95, Axel Courtois, and he too has had a good run. Look at him, 9th place, 1:42.91. And you can see it got a little wicked on that backstretch. He is popping through that nicely, but whew. Courtois' fastest time, a 1:42.91. His most recent on this lap, a 1:48.36. Needs to pick up that pace, and he's got to keep that boat hooked up. And you can see what Krista was talking about. She called that nice. I'm going to say that's a bit rough on the backstretch. All right, you see the double red. Very technical series. And now the split section. Goes to the outside splits for Axel. And he is cruising through this. Nice. Came up out of that stance just slightly to make the adjustment. Not sure that's really going to hurt him. Comes to the front stretch, just got to hold it wide open. Keep the hook up. Axel Courtois was in 9th. Not going to move out of that spot. He had a 1:44.27 on that run. His fastest time was a 1:42.91. Still in 9th. It is Hansen coming through, and he just came through with a faster time, and he pushed Axel Courtois onto the bubble. Courtois now in 10th. Oliver Hansen has moved into 9th with a 1:42.26, edging out Axel Courtois for that safety zone. We have 3.5 minutes left on the clock as you watch the golden boy taking a break on boat number 2, that Stian Schvetline with that really cool gold wetsuit from Jet Tribe. His fast time of the 1:38.97, putting Stian Schvetline in second in the qualifying. 1:35.91, still the time to beat. That's Kevin Redder at the top of it. But look at Nacho Armias in third with the 1:39.10, and Stian just edging him out. So Stian second now, Nacho Armias in third. Barnabas Zabo, 1:39.10 in fourth. Oh, Bernson just squealed in. Holy buckets, he hit the gas. 1:38.63 for Ulrich Bernson, putting him in second. Changing of the guard here. Redderer first, Bernson second, Stian Schvetline third with that 1:38.97. The difference, Ulrich Bernson with a 1:38.63, Schvetline a 1:38.97, Nacho Armias in fourth with a 1:39.10, and Barnabas Zaba with 1:39.36. And you're watching boat number 7, that is Salman Alawadi. Salman's currently in 14th with 1:46.16. He needs to pull some magic. 18 years old, and as he comes through, he does move up. Actually, no, he didn't. 1:43.80. It was slightly faster. It was a faster time. Didn't move him up in the spot. He's got to get past a 1:42 mark. Speaking of 1:42, Axel Courtois just dropped out of that top 10, and Dan Anderson is in it. Dan with a 1:41.20 is now in 10th. Marcus Lutz occurred in 11th, 1:41.41. Here's your top 10 as we have a minute left, minute and a half. Redderer leading, Bernson second, Stian third, Nacho in fourth, Barnabas in fifth, Alman Alamadi in sixth, Mads Hansen in seventh, Michael Perret in eighth, Zabo ninth, and Dan Anderson in 10th. And we have about a minute left on the clock. Algo Kus saying, go Marcus, go. Yeah, he has got to make this run count. With only 48 seconds left to go, and you're watching Slaven Ivancic. Ivancic is got a 1:48.53. That is not going to be good enough to get to a top 10. He too is going to have to lick it up. So the heat is on for Lutzekert, who's in 11th. Oliver Hansen in 12th, Axel Courtois in 13th, and Salman Alawadi in 14th. Marcus is only 21/100ths out of that top 10. Hey, Marvin Boulis in the house. Great to have you. Christian Miller also there. Hey, QB also. Hope you're doing better, Quentin. Great to see all the posts on Facebook and that you're back training. Guillermo Garcia, good to see you. All right, the clock is wound down, so they're going to be finishing up these laps as Axel Courtois comes through. And he too is going to choose that outside split, and he just picked up the first buoy on the outside. Best finish last year was that second in Portimao in Morto number 2. He has just been right there as far as brilliance. He needs to put together this whole season. Great finish. Axel Courtois. Let's see if he moves into it. He had a 1:41.26. It's not going to be enough. He is 0.06 out of it. Dan Anderson in 10th with a 1:41.20. Axel Courtois in 11th with a 1:41.26. He just missed it by 6/100ths of a second. Anybody else able to get into this top 10? Let's take a look. And you can see the reaction. Axel coming in to see how his time was. That's going to finish Q1. Again, Redder at the top of this, fastest time, 1:35.91. His practice time was 1:34.63. Bernson second, Schvetline third, Armias fourth, and Szabo fifth. We're going to invite the top 10 back out for 10 in just a minute. You're taking a look at Kuwait City and Salmiya Bay, our host for the season opener for the UIM-ABP Aquabike World Championship Tour. We're kicking it off early this year. Our first time to have Aquabike in Kuwait City, and a special thanks to the Kuwait Sports Club for all their help in getting us out here, the Water Sports Club. And of course, also thanks to KIB and Bank for Life, some of the great sponsors for them. We appreciate you so much being our host. You can see the tractors moving these big boats in and out, and we have to pre-stage quite a bit. They are already moving the big runabouts down to the beach so that they can get ready to go. I know, it's exciting. Big guns are here. We got a lot of fans out here watching us. And of course, all you guys listening to us on the live stream, thanks so much for joining us today. Hey, Lucy Gadsby. Did you just have a birthday like not terribly long ago? You're all of 15. One of the funniest mistakes I think I've ever made. I've known her forever, it seems. I actually got the chance to watch her racing as a junior in the UK. And I said to everybody, I thought she was 17 last year. And it turns out she's only 14. She just turned 15, one of the winningest women already. Great to having us on the live feed. Diogo Barbarossa, also in the house. Diogo, of course, riding for Kev Racing. Another great junior racer, and he says, go Kevin and go Dan. And Adapon Olkunsa, hi. It's good to have you, bud. By the way, we have 62 riders this weekend, 22 countries represented, to include Lebanon. We've got a rider from Lebanon back out here joining us, a multiple champion from Lebanon, going to be on the water. You'll get the opportunity to watch him in just a little bit. And several new riders from Kuwait. She says, I'm feeling old now. Whatever. Nicholas Polson also here saying, go Oliver and go Mads Hansen. Yeah, and they've had some good runs today. We've got at least one Hansen in the top 10, so he'll get that invite back out. Don't forget, in Q2, top 10 out for that 10 minutes. And we'll be bringing them right back out to you in just a second. Saw the custom helmet just very briefly from Kevin Redder that he's wearing. It's got one of the quotes that he truly lives by. And the lead singer from Queen. And when you get really close to that helmet, you can see in one little area underneath the visor, he actually says you'll a little something to a young lady that we will never forget, and that is We Love You, Bo. Jonathan McCreary, wish it was race season here already. Man, I agree. It's great to get it started this early, I must say. Otherwise, I feel like I'm going stir crazy and getting cabin fever by March, because a lot of the race season really kicks over in the United States around April. April and May seems to be huge times for us to get rolling, but it's fun to have a race right in February as we get started. One of the earliest times we've had the chance. We've got a big season this year, Middle East, Europe, and Asia. We're going to cover all of that. Looks like 6 races is what we're trying to get on that calendar. You can go and check out aquabike.net for all of those. Looking out over Salmiya Bay and the riders as they get ready to go. And boat number 27 in the foreground. Speaking of Portugal, it's actually Lino Araujo from Portugal. Going to be aboard that boat in just a short while. Again, we're just getting ready for Q2. And Lucas Bernard not able to make it in that top 10, so he is going to go get that boat out of the water. Man, is he fast. Boat 51, Mads Hansen. Who will be going back out. Again, our schedule today, Ski Ladies GP1, Ski Division, which is what we're watching right now, the second qualifier about to come back out, Runabout, and followed by Freestyle. That's going to be what our schedule looks like today in the qualifying classes. I've got some cool news for you, by the way. And then tomorrow, of course, we're going to roll right into the motos. We've also got the opportunity tomorrow to do a couple of extra things, and I'm not sure yet if they're going to be on the live feed. I will let you know and keep you up to date on that. But we are looking to do the night slalom, the side-by-side parallel slalom, night slalom. That's going to be happening tomorrow night. We are also going to be doing a really cool flag ceremony, Olympic-style flag ceremony, where the countries actually come in carrying their flags during a huge ceremony for Kuwait City. So I'll let you know if they're going to actually produce that live as well. I hope they do. I hope you get the chance to watch it. If not, we'll get some pictures for you. You can see the Kuwait Towers off in the distance in beautiful Kuwait City. Population of 2.9 million. Kuwait comprised of 9 islands. And they are getting the guys back out on the water again. You can see Nacho on boat number 36. Kind of reminds me of the Transformer, right? Bumblebee. Didn't Bumblebee have like the yellow and black? He did. Of course. Just call him Bumblebee. He's going to kill me when he hears this. Oh, boy. Ah, what a cool overhead shot as you get a chance to watch this 1.8 kilometer track. And that is the final part of the, it would be the left-hand side of the track if you're looking out from the beach as they get ready to hit the backstretch. And a pretty cool view. Don't forget, every time we bring the qualifiers back out, they have to break up the water first, so that's what you're watching. They're not just going to let them run out there, and if you're the first one out there, you get the flattest water. They break up the water before they start the time. 10 minutes is going to be the qualifier. We're going to invite these 10 riders back out, so it'll be a little bit calmer. And you can just hear the tractors in the background as they pull out some of these very big runabouts. And that is the drone shot of the outside split. Big course, deceptively big. And you can also see what I was talking about. This is a portrait layout versus your typical landscape layout on a race course. It's very deep back into that bay and pretty technical. But as Krista Uzar said, I'll just describe it her way. She said it was really nice. There's Ulrich Berntsen on boat number 83 who snuck it in the final 2 laps. in the qualifying to get that second fastest qualifying time. And Ulrich ready to lay down some power. Ulrich, like Dan Anderson and Stian Svetline, also hails from Norway. In 2019, his best was a second place moto, both second place in Motos 2 and 3 in Sharjah. His best place was second on the Grand Prix of Sharjah. And it was actually his first podium in a Grand Prix. And all that happening in 2019. Also going to be a rider to watch for 2020, Ulrich Berntsson on 83. Right-hand course today. Good morning, Blake Corney. Good to have you with us. I see Justin Patzner shouting out for Team Germany in boat number 66. I know, that is I agree, Blake. Yeah, I was really fascinated by that. These guys have got a lot of really innovative ideas, I think, for how to keep it fair. All right, they have opened it up for the Q2, 9:49 on the clock. And it looks like we already had a rider set her up, and that is Stian Svetline, who's making a run. And you can see they're sitting in the back on the right-hand side, just off of that outside split, waiting for an opportunity for some clean water. And this next jet just took off. That's Kevin Rederer. Again, not racing. We're just going for the fastest times in the qualifying. And this is going to be who is going to get on the pole position. Top 10 riders out based on Q1. And man, what a year Kevin Rederer had. And Blake, you'll remember this because it actually happened in your turf. There was a time that Kevin Rederer was never going to race again. Had just a tough call. It happens, you know, whether it was fair or not fair. It just had a call, and he got DQ'd, and he was actually winning a title in the U.S. and went over a log jump, or was going to go over a log jump, and they had a flag on the log jump. The flag went down right as he went by it, so just one of those calls that happened. But man, it was a cause for a lot of heartbreak, and it actually cost a title. There was talk of him never coming back and racing again. Fortunately, he did come back next year, and that next year is when he won his first world title, and he has not looked back since. Talking about Kevin Rederer, boat number 90, two-time world champion here, and he is on fire aboard that Victory machine. And just gives you goosebumps watching this guy race. Kevin Rederer on the front stretch. First time, oh man, 1:33.91. That's the fastest time on the water today. 1:33.91 for Kevin Rederer. Michael Prix, so good to have the Prix back representing, and Michael or Mika both in second place on a 1:38.15 aboard a Cowie, and Nacho Armias a 1:38.84 in third, and Stian Svetline in fourth with a 1:38.99. By the way, Michael Prix in free practice today in that second place spot with a 1:41.83. His brother Jeremy Prix has had an incredible race career. And you are watching Nacho Armias. Oh, not sure what happened there. Big water snake. Looked like he overcompensated setting up for that turn, and that wave just cranked on him, catching the side of the boat, and it just rolled him in that part of what we talked about with some of the waves. And you could see that that cranked his shoulder a little bit too. You're watching Nacho Armias. Smart call to back off of that. No reason to keep pushing on that particular lap. He wasn't going to be able to turn it into anything. So he's going to bring it back up to the front and take another run at it. Boat number 51 coming through, that Mads Hansen. Let's take a look at his time. Mads with a 1:42.04. He's in 7th. Redder leading, Prix second, Barnabas Szabo third. Nacho Armias has the 4th fastest time. Stian Schwettlein 5th. Ulrich in 6th. Mads 7th. Axel Courtois 8th. Gabor Szabo in 9th. Abdul Alamadi in 10th. And there's Stian Schwettlein. Oh, he doesn't have the gold suit on. He had it on earlier in practice. All right, let's see if Stian takes the golden boy look for Moto 1 tomorrow. You're watching Stian Schwettlein, your team manager for Team Norway, on the water. Stian in 5th, the 1:38.99. He's still in that first group. So if we were doing a running start, the way that works, we're not actually. We're going to be doing a beach start, but if we were doing a running start, being in that first group, still not bad. It'd be the first of the 5 that gets to go to the green can or that big green buoy. But because we're doing a beach start, it's sort of irrelevant. Now, generally in regular racing, if you had, let's see, like second place in Moto number 1, you had the second chance to pick where you wanted to be on the line in that second moto. Bit different here, we're doing the time qualifiers, so he would be 5th on the lineup tomorrow. He's not going to be 5th and choosing where he wants to go. He's going to be 5th away from that inside pole position. So hopefully that answers that question as well for the moto layouts tomorrow. Nacho like a submarine. Yeah, that was not his Nacho lap for sure. Yeah, Kevin is fast. Harley, I don't know. Man, that gave me the goosebumps. Micro Matza, Kevin. Nacho's had a good time, though. He's in it. He's in 4th. Again, you're watching Redder. And as Chris had described it earlier, they've got a ton of doubles and triple turns out there, and then a straight shot. It's not a big shot, but it's a straight shot on the back stretch. And then they go right back into a double to the right-hand side, a double, single, single, double. I sound like I'm at In-N-Out Burger, don't I? And then they go in to this outside or inside split. You'll notice he went to the blue buoys and picked up that outside split. You're watching Kevin Redder light it up on this beautifully designed boat from the Victory team. Wow. Let's see what this time is. Not faster. His fastest time still 1:33.91. That lap was a 1:36.18 for Kevin Redder. Michael Prix has had the fastest time for him today. His lap time in practice was a 1:41.83, but his time right now is a 1:38.15. We've got 7.5 minutes on the clock in this 10-minute qualifier. Barnabas Szabo right in this hunt, 1:38.31. 0.15 of a second separating him and Mika Prix. Armias, the 1:38.84. So after Kevin Redder from 2nd until 5th, all of those riders have a 1:38. And it is just the hundredths of the seconds that's separating the rest of that pack between 2nd and 5th place. Very, very fast, just to give you a sense of how talented this group is. Michael Prix 2nd, Barnabas 3rd, Nacho 4th, Stian Schwettlein in 5th. Ulrich Bernsen right there, he has a 1:39.30. We've got 1:41 left on the clock. And speak of the devil. There's boat number 28, Barnabas Szabo. And he launched it to see if he can move out of that third place spot. And there's Bernson, who's currently in 6th. Yep, he's going to hold up until he gets a little cleaner water. He does not have a lot of time left. Just over a minute. Barnabas going to hang low over the side of that boat. He's on the left-hand side of this track. And the way that looks is they have a triple to negotiate, 2 singles, a double that comes back into the waves, a triple, and that's what you just saw, and then a double, and then you should be seeing a double buoy come up, and they're gonna hit a straight in just a minute. And there he goes to the back stretch, and then he's into the, well, he's already passed it, actually. Too fast for me. And then he went back into the right-hand side. He's on the outside split. 10 seconds left on the clock. Not going to affect him on this run. He's on this front stretch. You're watching Barnabas. Oh, and he skidded just slightly. That may be the difference between him getting in 3rd to 2nd. Even with that skid, he managed to move up. Barnabas Szabo in 2nd with a 1:37.98. That was impressive riding for Barnabas Szabo from Hungary. I actually thought that was going to cost him, but he managed to knock that out. Well done for that rider on boat number 28. 1:37.98, good enough to put Barnabas Szabo up in 2nd. So Rederer, Szabo, and Prix, your top 3. Nacho's got to do something here. There's the signal to go to the back. He hits that double, and there's the back stretch we were talking about. That's the first double off of the back stretch, and then there's the second double, and then he's going to hit 2 singles, and then another double, and then he goes into the splits. You're watching, well, you were watching Nacho Armias and now Axel Courtois. And Axel's actually moved over as he sees Nacho coming through on that splits. Get the opportunity to watch Nacho in just a second. It's going to be our final opportunity, and Nacho is pushing as hard as he can on that pump. Works his way through the outside split. He's got to keep on this gas. Also a very aggressive boat. Armias is in 4th with 1:38.84. Can he better his time? Nope, not going to do it. 1:40.86, leaving him in 4th place. Here's your run. Kevin Rederer in the lead. Szabo in 2nd, Prix in 3rd, Armias in 4th, and Schvetlein is going to be the final part of that first grouping in 5th. Bernson in 6th, Mads Hansen in 7th, Courtois in 8th, Alamati in 9th, and Gabor Szabo rounding out your top 10. That's how it's going to look tomorrow in Moto number 1. You've been watching Ski GP. This is the qualifying. And a Q2 brought no surprises at the top of the pack with Kevin Rederer with that record-breaking time of 1:33.91. Thus far, it's the fastest time on the track, but we're not done. We've still got Runabout coming at you next. you guys, welcome back. You are live right here at the Grand Prix of Kuwait. This is our season opening, and it is our first opportunity to have an aqua bike round right here in Kuwait City. And we got the big guns on the water, and man, oh man, what a year last year. That has to be one of the most exciting final 5 minutes I ever had the opportunity to watch. And I'm talking about that runabout round and the battle between Marcus Jorgensen, Jeremy Perez, Josef Abdul-Razak, Andres Wisniewski, and the rest of the crew put on one of the most spectacular shows I've ever seen, and it came down to the final 4 buoys when Marcus Jorgensen, who finally had a grand championship in his Grand Prix win and a world championship in his grasp, and he broke final 4 buoys. It was insane. Jeremy Perez came into that round in 6th place. And oh my gosh, we're back live. Well, that was just so rude, Murphy's Law. The way that had to work. Hey, you guys, we're back right here at the Grand Prix of Kuwait. And wouldn't you know it, it was right when the runabouts were about to get going. Good news is you didn't miss anything because we're still breaking up the water. So we haven't actually gone on the clock. That's the good news. Bad news is you missed our amazing intro. All good, though. All right, so like I said, you haven't missed anything. We're just about to take these guys on for the 15-minute. This is going to be the first qualifier. Don't go anywhere. Everything's good. Go Poland and Team 25. You've got to be talking about Andres Wisniewski and, of course, Konrad Robel, 2 incredible Polish riders. Wisniewski had a podium position locked in last year when disaster struck, and as we talked about a little bit earlier, man, what a crazy topsy-turvy series of motos, and they only did 2 of them in Sharjah last year. What a great round we had. You are watching the Runabout Q1. Again, nothing's happened, so you didn't miss nothing. We're just now starting breaking up this water for the Runabout class, and you're watching Josef Abdul-Razak. By the way, I'm sure you remember he had shoulder surgery last year and then re-injured his shoulder in Sharjah. So he's been in training and been doing physical therapy. Got a chance to catch up with him earlier. He is on the gas, and he is going to be making a run right here in his hometown, but not at full capacity for a 4-time world championship winner, and of course a gentleman that is in the Guinness Book of World Records. I'm talking about Josef Abdul-Razak. Now he is joined with a ton of riders. Some of them I know you're going to remember. Ali Al-Anjawi is on the course, and Rashid Aldawas also going to be out racing today. Abu Bakr, Almari Abu Bakr from the UAE did great in practice. I think something happened, though, in the first pre-qual, because we had to have pre-qual. We've got 27 riders here this afternoon, and so they had to go into pre-qualification, and if you were not a supported or contracted rider, and I'm not sure, but I think Abu Bakr might have missed that pre-qual. I'm not sure what happened with that. We'll look for him out on the track. Some of the other local talent, we get the chance to watch Salim Agathi, and Yosef Al-Gathimi is also on the track. Rashid Al-Tayer back at it, and man, did he put on a heck of a show in 2019. That is just some of the riders that are going to be representing, both from the UAE and from Kuwait. We've got some other newcomers. Kylie Elmer's filling in for Anthony Radatic. She's this backup rider for him, and I do believe she wants to run in the runabout class this year. So she's doing multitasking, as you saw her earlier in the ladies class, and she's now out in runabout, and it looks to me like we're about to open up this qualifier. 14:12 on the clock as we get ready to go with lap number 1. You're watching Q1 in Runabout GP1. you, can't wait to be in Portimao this year. Let's go, Jeremy. Of course, shouting out for your defending world champion, Jeremy Perez from France. Hey, Victoria, it's good to have you here. Missed you too, girl. Stefan Carlson shouting it out for Team Sweden on the live feed as we get the opportunity to watch a father and son combination. That's Johan Johansson and Sam Johansson making their mark. And man, this little kid at 17 years fast. Cool to have him on the track. I can't wait to see what he does. That's Marcus Jorgensen, who we talked about last year, was in the points lead coming into that final round and broke on the outside split on the last lap. He has once again been denied. Could this year be the year finally for Marcus Jorgensen to walk away with a world championship title? Certainly looked good this morning for him. He came in second in that Group B of practice. He had a 1:32.23 on a time. And Josef Abdul-Razak with a 1:31.52 was your number one in free practice. Again, none of that counts, just giving you a chance to see how these guys were doing. Ali Awanjawi from the UAE coming in with the fastest time in that non-supported group, or in practice one. He had a 1:35.28. Let's take a look at the times now when it counts for the money, and it is Jorgensen at the top of the heap with a 1:33.57. Lorenzo Benalia looking sharp. He had a 1:39.28. Didn't stay in second for long. Altair just jumped as he comes through in his first lap with a 1:32.87. By the way, Rashid Altair officially just took the fastest time on the track with that 1:32.87, edging out Kevin Rederer with a 1:33. Marcus Jorgensen, 1:33.57. Rasmus Hansen with a 1:37.71, going to put him in third. Lorenzo Benalia in fourth with a 1:39.28. Jan Jensen in fifth with a 1:45.76. We'll see if that holds. And there are the other gentlemen from Kuwait I mentioned. Salim Al-Thimi with a 1:47.61. Was in fifth, moved to sixth. Yosef Al-Gathimi in seventh with 1:50.28. Christoph Agostino had a 1:51.48. And Lino Aruja with a 1:55.29. Josef Abdul-Razak just moved up into third with a 1:34.92. Only one to be in the 1:34 bracket. We're only 3 minutes, 55 seconds into this, and already you can see some wicked times. What a great shot of this course. You can see what I'm talking about here with that portrait layout. Now, these guys have a bigger distance. They've got that half moon series up at the top of that. So instead of a straight shot on the backstretch, those guys are going to have to take basically a huge right-hand sweeper turn. There's our first chance to get a good shot of Jeremy Perez, your defending world champion, and proud papa from France. Jeremy's first time, he was just lurking back there with a 2:02.40. He's not in the top 10 yet. Let's see what happens as we work our way through this 15-minute qualifier. I know Marta was tuning in earlier. Congratulations to you and the new baby. They were posting some really beautiful pictures of the two of them. I get a shot there of that split section, and you can see that final double right before they have to pick whether they're going inside or outside. You can see the outside's kind of an easy pop from that double right-hand turn. A lot of the stand-up riders go into it. You can see quite a few of the runabout riders are going to be on that as well. There's Perez as he takes a nice 90-degree pop to the front stretch. Now he's got traffic in front of him. Not sure how he's going to do on this time. Let's just take a look. He was way down here with a 2:02, and man, did he jump. Went from a 2:02.02 to a 1:35.54. Good enough to put Jeremy Perez in fourth place. See the triple right next to that wall. That is going to be pretty technical, particularly in a 25-minute moto. which is what they're going to be after tomorrow. Now, 3 motos for the ski division, 2 motos for the runabout division. But today it's all about qualifying. You can see Rashid Altair chilling like a villain down there. Boat number 5, Altair currently has the fastest time with a 1:32.87, and he's just gonna watch and see if somebody threatens that and if he has to go back out there, or is he gonna get the opportunity to just relax. Again, Rashid Altair with the fastest time, 1:32.87. Jorgensen with a 1:33.57 in second. Yosef Abdul-Razak, a 1:34.92. That's your top 3. Perez in 4th. There is boat number 28, and that is Jan Jensen. And aside from a few spare parts, running basically the same engine and same boat as last year, a lot of the riders came out with a fresh engine for this weekend, but Jensen's gonna wait to do a full refresh. You can see Salmiya Bay and all of the pits. Great location for us right by Kuwait City. This track is deceptive. It looks like it's pretty easy, and I love the flow of it, but man, it's got some rough sections. That one right there I think is going to be pretty wicked, particularly tomorrow. You're watching Christoph Agostino as he comes through on boat number 10. And let's see where Agostino is in this lineup. 10th place on the bubble with the 1:42.71. He is on the bubble. Oh, it's Lino Arujo in 11th. Lino with a 1:45.35. He's got to shave off 3.5 seconds to get a chance to get invited back on Q2. So right now, the bubble, it is Christoph Agostino in 10th and Lino Arujo in 11th. Hey, Gonzalo Rodriguez, go Portugal, good timing. Your buddy is right there. Again, the bubble, Christoph Agostino in 10th, 1:42.71, and Lino Arujo in 11th place with a 1:45.35. Some of the other riders that aren't in that top 10 yet, I don't see Wisniewski posting a time yet, and that is unusual. Things that make you go, Christoph Agostino giving the wave back there to Lorenzo Bonaglia. Lorenzo Bonaglia, by the way, one of the oldest or longest runs of all time on the Aquabike Tour. Gentleman from Italy. And Christoph has lit the fire here on this front stretch. So he is going to make a run, trying to get a little distance between himself and the other 26 riders. And there's boat number 3, Ali Al-Anjawi, who had the fastest time in that free practice this morning with that 1:35.28. Al-Anjawi currently in 9th with a 1:39.70. And here comes Yosef Abdul-Razak, your 4-time world champion. He too is looking at the water. These guys are playing a lot of strategy in this 15-minute moto. Everything to save the boats for this weekend's racing. Yosef gonna make a run. He lights it up on that front stretch. There's Lino Arujo. Got stuck in some traffic, and he might just back off and see if he can't get a cleaner lap than that. Curious on how he plays the strategy here. Let's see what happens from the rider from Portugal. And the red flag actually is up. 15 minutes have already elapsed. That's how quick that went. Okay, let's do a quick look. Rashid Altair Never moved off that top spot. 1:32.87 is going to be the fastest time in Q1. Marcus Jorgensen in second with a 1:33.56. Sam Johansson, the young gun, back in it. 1:33.62. He's in third. Josef Abdulrazak fourth with a 1:34.92. And in fifth, Jeremy Perez, a 1:35.54. Rasmus Hansen in sixth, 1:36.19. Fracasso in seventh. Miranda Molina in eighth. Benalia in ninth. And Ali Alajawi in 10th, just edged out both Agostino and Arahu for that 10th place spot. Again, the final 10th place spot went to Ali Alajawi. As throw the red flag out there, 15 minutes of elapsed. The next magical act is going to be inviting out that top 10 for 10. 10 for 10. Meanwhile, we have to rearrange some of these buoys. That went really fast. Again, just going to rearrange the buoys here as we get ready to go for Q2. I think the most strenuous thing about this afternoon truly has been just beaching these guys and launching. Speaking of beaching, we are going to have a beach start tomorrow versus the running start, which we generally do. We have the option on this tour, so this will be even more fun, I think, for tomorrow's first series of motos. We get to watch some beach starts. Good place for it as well. I will say the one interesting thing too about this particular locale, Salmia Bay has got a rise and fall of about 3 meters in tide. So just a quick comparison on that. If you can imagine what it was looking about like in Qingdao, China last year in October, that was about the difference that we had in the tides daily with them as well. So the tides come out and come in very, very quickly. This morning when we came out, some of these buoys were on the beach. But they have go up pretty high. We're towards high tide in the afternoon, which is why we've been doing all of these qualifiers in the afternoon for this. Big tides and deep sand. Good descriptions as we get an up close look of the Easy Rider, your defending world champion's boat, Jeremy Perez. Nice view of Kuwait City as we are live, ready for Q2 with Rashid Altair, Jorgensen, Johansson, Abdulrazak, Perez, Hansen, Fracasso, Molina, Benalia, and Alajawi, all getting ready to go back out for Q number 2. It's only going to be 10 minutes. And you can see Marcus Jorgensen chatting a little bit. Jorgensen, of course, from Denmark. Ended up third last year in the World Championship, even with that break. He's 24 years old, born in Copenhagen, but currently lives in Miami. No stranger to a throttle, both in the dirt and in the water. He's raced in motocross as well as jet ski racing and works in the motocross business. You can see the famous telecom tower on that nice view of the horizon in Kuwait City. Relatively shallow gulf, max depth here 90 meters. The average depth in this gulf is only 50 meters. The average outside temperature, by the way, in January and February is 22 degrees, 72 Fahrenheit, not what they've been experiencing the last couple of days. When I got to the hotel last night, everybody was talking about how many sweatshirts they had on, with a 5 degrees is what greeted them yesterday morning during registration and technical inspection. So a bit chilly here in Kuwait City, but it's already starting to warm up, and we are looking to get up into the 60s Fahrenheit by tomorrow and the next day. So heating up both on and off the water right here in Kuwait City for our season opener on what is looking to be a very big tour this year. We've got 6 stops in the Middle East, Europe, and also Asia lined up. First one right here in February. Check us out at aquabike.net for more of that information. And of course, great coverage on the races and any of the news happening. Speaking about happenings, not sure if you caught that in the website, but Rashid Al-Molla, who is your defending world champion, actually came into this round and fractured his shoulder in practice when I had the opportunity to talk to him. The bones are still in alignment. He's going to go out and make a run for it, but definitely going to have to protect that shoulder. We're just getting ready for Q2. $31 pens for both of the ski and the runabout classes. Well, I guess if you're going to deal with the waves here, twin screws in the back of the boat wouldn't be bad. That's a good-looking boat off on the distance as these guys get a chance to catch up with some of our spectators both on and off the water. Boat number 31, Molina. Alejandro from Spain. And our course marshals doing their part to help keep the waters clean. In between all of the other jobs that they have, they're out there patrolling just to make sure if they catch anything that maybe fell off of one of the boats, they get that picked up, and they'll bring that all that stuff in for us. Good peeps, man. Yeah, we're getting ready for Q2. Hey, Hassan Alamani, hello to you. Hello, Robert Sand, hello to you as well. Martin El Haj, you should be racing, sir. Hello. ATV Jet Racing Team, Andres Wisniewski and Conrad Roble. You must remember that you never give up and stay strong. That's a good one. Harley Ritchie asking if they're still junior in Portimao. I'm not sure. I'll get that answer for you, though. I would guess yes. Generally, we do. And Hassan Alamani, good luck for everyone and race safe and enjoy it. Thank you so much. All right, circling like sharks out there as we get ready for Q2. Only the top 10 invited back out for 10, so 10 for 10. See Jeremy Perez staying warmed up. Everybody's got to handle this in-between time differently, and this is some of the toughest times. I would say that wait time on the start, if they have any delays ever, is one of the worst times. And then, of course, in between these qualifiers is always tough as well because they hold them back a little bit as they adjust the course. And so you got to sit there, and the worst thing you could do is get in your head. So a lot of it is just going to be mental management. You can see these guys all handling that in different ways. We've got some of the riders down there stretching. Some of them are off socializing or networking. And others are just sitting on the boat, being very quiet, having their holders hold them. So it really just depends on what works for you. But that mental strength is an imperative practice for these top riders. Jeremy heckling the course marshals. That's his way to handle it. Again, you're watching live from Salmiya Bay. This is the Grand Prix of Kuwait, the season opener for the UIM-ABP Aquabike World Championship Tour. But it is also the first time that we've had the opportunity to have a Grand Prix right here in Kuwait and in beautiful Kuwait City. It is also one of the earliest season openers that we've had on the UIM-ABP Aquabike World Championship Tour. Both, I think, a good thing. All right, well, you can hear the roar, I'm sure, as these guys fired up. We're going to bring the top 10 back out as we get ready for a 10-minute Q2. Rashid Altair with a 1:32, the fastest time thus far on the track today, including practice. And now they're back out breaking up the water, and shortly we will be on the clock. That is a massive right-hand turn. And you can see they actually go by the delineation or the buoys that mark the ski side, and they go straight into that double. So the, if I was looking out, it'd be the right-hand side of the track. As you watch Rashid Altair come through, it looks as a double-double, a single-single-double, and then you have to pick the inside-outside split. Rashid Altair choosing to go to the outside, and he's going to open up the gap. And he does hit it as they get close to the start-finish line. He's on the gas, so Rashid Altair going to be leading out on the time. Oh, not yet. They still didn't release. They have not released the time yet. So we're going to make them keep breaking this water up another lap before they let him go in the time. It looked like he was getting ready just in case. Also part of the strategy. Oh, and we had a dismount off of that front stretch. Yep, Matteo Fracasso on boat number 8. Still breaking up the water. And your yellow flag is up as they get the riders, or get Matteo Fracasso back. Oh, that was a nice back wrencher. Matteo Fracasso from Italy. He's had some great stats. 2019, his best was the 3rd in Moto 3 in Sharjah. His best finish was a 6th place at the Grand Prix of the Mediterranean Olbia. Ended up a 10th last year overall on the World Championship Tour. He's had 6 aquabike podiums from 2011 to 2014. Rides for Team Marina and lives in Vicenza, Italy. Now, mind you, he's 40 years fast. So not the youngest gun out there, but certainly very wily and quite a quick rider. So we've got Mateo Fracassa back to his boat off of that front stretch. And we are on the clock, 9:56, as we get ready to go. Again, a 9-minute qualifier is what you're watching, and we now get the opportunity to see some lap times as you get full coverage here. Boat number 11, your 4-time world champion, that's Yosef Abdulrazak. Yosef, very instrumental in helping us get out here to Kuwait City, his hometown. You can see right at the top of the boat, and that is such a signature for him. He's sponsored by Zane, and he has been for many years. And you can even tell on this riding style, he's still protecting that shoulder as he comes through, and he takes the outside split. But he's gonna push it pretty low over those handlebars, stay hooked up, but he's not gonna do anything too drastic. This is only gonna count for the pole position. The main thing he needs to do right now is ride solid, but not take himself out. He's still got 2 qualifiers to go. Comes through with a good time, a 1:25.61. Yeah, that was nice. Prior to that, it was a 1:32. That was smart thinking from the gentleman from Kuwait, a 1:25.61. Way to lay down the challenge early on. Rashid Altair coming through a 1:28.70. He's going to be in second. And you get to watch Jeremy Perez. Let's see what time he locks in. Ali Awajawi, respect. 1:31.84. That one was awesome. And it's Marcus Jorgensen with a 1:28.91, putting him up in third. So right now you have a 1:25 as your fastest time. Isn't it interesting taking off 10 boats, what that'll do for the water? These guys just shaved off a good 7 seconds on these times. 1:25.61 again for Yosef Abdulrazak. Rashid Altair with a 1:28.70. Marcus Jorgensen a 1:28.91. Alan Jowie with a 1:31.84. Rasmus Hansen with a 1:34.38. That's your top 5. We've got 3 minutes into this 10-minute qualifier. And let's see what Perez puts on the clock. He didn't like it. You can see him shaking his head, so he wasn't able to put together a solid one. Now watch Perez. He's going to play strategy here. He's looking for clean water. He's over on the far right-hand side of the track. The way they do this, they have to go through that start-stop buoy, the checkers, and he is on the gas. He's got enough clear water. He's going to make a run. Here is Jeremy Perez's first run for the time. Yeah, I can see why. His other time that he posted was a 1:47.03. That's not going to be anywhere near good enough. 1:25.61 is your fastest thus far. That's Yosef Abdulrazak, 4-time world champion. Rashid Altair, you just don't ever quit. What a great racer. Used to race in the F1s as well. Now he's back on the water with the jet ski racing. 1:28.70, putting him in second. 1:28.91, Marcus Jorgensen third. And Molina on boat 31 comes through the double. And then you can see these 2 quick singles, 1 more double, and then they get the opportunity to get into the split section, and there he is going into that outside. You can see it's a pretty easy choice, particularly for these big boats, to go to that outside split. If you're going to go to the inside, it's a good 90-degree turn to get to the inside split. But, man, it's fast. All right, 31, that's Molina, and he's on the gas. He came into this one with a 1:39.07. Not bad, puts him in 7th. He's going to see if he can improve his fate. Jeremy Perez in 8th. Lorenz Benalia in 10th at the moment. And nobody has shaken down that 1:25.61. We've got a little over halfway here. 4.52 left on the clock for your 10-minute qualifier. Molina pushing it on this left-hand side. Now you can see that the double buoys telling the stand-up riders to come back in for that straight shot. But it is the runabout, so they're going to be going for that humongous 3-buoy right-hand turn, which is, you know, a pseudo backstretch. Really, basically, it's just a full-speed right-hand turn. All right, Sam Johansson. Best year ever. No, Skinny Mo is not out here. Hassan Alamani actually posting the question. I wish he was. We got the chance to catch up earlier with Abdul Afadel. Sure you recognize him, and I bet even if you don't recognize him, you'll recognize boat number. It's boat number 30, but Abdul Afadel also not out here riding this weekend. So Skinny Mo did not make an appearance on the track, which is a bummer. Really would have loved to have had Muhammad Rabi out racing, but not here. So I'm just going to call that out. Rabaya, where are you, Bubba? He has been helping Kylie Elmers, though. So Kylie Elmers not able to come into Q2, but she is riding as a substitute rider for Anthony Radatic, who is unable to come out here. You can see Sam Johansson hanging a knee out as he comes through this outside split. Love the way this kid rides. Shoulders straight out on this very leggy youngster from Sweden. Let's take a look at his time. You're watching Sam Johansson, who just jumped into 4th place with a 1:29.67. So Abdul Razak, 1:25.61. Nobody's moved on to that. Here comes Jorgensen. Taylor in 2nd, and Jorgensen with a 1:28.91. Will Marcus Jorgensen be able to beat that time? He is in the split section on the outside, just dropped to the front stretch. I'm not sure. He got a little wobbly back there coming off that turn. Let's see if that time, I didn't look happy with it. Nope, it's 1:29.67. Wait. Lies. 1:26.07. So yeah, despite the wobble off of that final turn on the outside split, great run for Marcus Jorgensen, and that moved him into 2nd place. He bounced Altair out of it. So Jorgensen happy with it despite the head shake. Josef with a 1:25.61, and Jorgensen with a 1:26.07 was in 2nd, and Altair came through and answered that with his own challenge, not only beating Abdul Razak, but Jorgensen as well. Altair at the top of it with a 1:25.38. He beat Josef Abdul Razak's time of a 1:25.61. Well, that was an upset. I thought Josef Abdul Razak had that locked and loaded. Prior to that lap, nobody had gotten close to that 1:25. And then Rashid Altair shaved off 31/100ths of a second. Rashid Altair, your new pole position, unless something changes in the next minute and a half. And Jeremy Perez has got a hand up. Let's see if Perez was able to move up. 1:31.06. Perez is in 6th place. Rasmus Hansen in 5th with a 1:30.34. Johansson in 4th with a 1:29.67. Jorgensen in 3rd with a 1:26.07. Abdul Razak in 2nd, and Altair at the top. 1:25.38. And we're down to 30 seconds left on the clock. I'm curious to see if Josef realized. Yeah, he's back out. Josef's back out on the track. So he realized that Altair nailed him on that last lap, and Josef back out there to answer the challenge. Meanwhile, Sam Johansson, boat number 4, in that 4th place spot with a 1:29.67. He too is going to see if he can get in a top 3 grouping. And Ali Al-Jawi coming in. He's going to be in 8th unless something crazy changes. 1:31.84 for Ali Al-Jawi as his fastest time. And Jorgensen just cruising in, so he didn't like that last run. And also Josef. Let's see what the times were. Altair, unless one of these last 3 riders comes through, Sam Johansson's got an opportunity to do an upset here. And he comes through. Let's see what happens. Nope. 1:30.23. His fastest was a 1:29.67. Okay, now we're out of time. Just waiting for the last couple of riders. We've got one more. And it looks like. And he's just cruising through. Perez also with a hand up, gonna just cruise in. Ah, that's gonna do it. Rashid Altair locks it. Pole position for him tomorrow in moto number 1 with a 1:25.38. Josef Abdul-Razak with a 1:25.61 second. Marcus Jorgensen in 3rd. Johansson 4th. Molina 5th. Rasmus Hansen in 6th. Perez in 7th. Alan Jawi in 8th. Lorenzo Benali in 9th. And that, as they say, is a wrap in the Runabout GP1. But talking about fast girls, awkward segue, but we're going to make that work anyway. Shauna Forkstrom, how are you?
Hello, I'm good. How are you?
I'm good. I saw you leap out there in practice. Can I ask you a little question about the qualifying and the practice? Does it help the psychology for you if you get that kind of that clean water right at the beginning? Is there any strategy to that, or do you just happen to be there?
Well, yeah, of course it helps to have clean water. That's what everybody wants because, yeah, the cleaner water, the easier it is to make a fast lap. So, yeah, that was a strategy.
Ah, you did see that. I wonder. Well, because again, you got to break it up, right? So even though you got the clean, you still got to run through the whole lap.
Yeah, exactly.
Okay. But for you mentally, that was like, yeah, I get the clean water.
Yeah.
Well, it certainly looked great. Great run for you today. How are you feeling?
Thank you. I feel good. Yeah. It was a fun session. I liked it.
Yeah, you came off an incredible year last year.
Yeah.
And we didn't have too much space.
No.
In between Sharjah and how. Have you done any different things in training?
No, not much different. It's very cold right now at home, so.
Oh, well, you feel right at home.
Yeah.
It's kind of cold here.
I feel comfortable here, yeah. No, yeah, it's pretty cold at home, so I try to ride as often as possible, but if it's too cold, it's not possible. So every time there are like a little bits of sun and stuff, I go out and ride, and then, yeah, it's just normal training like before.
Now, has your dad had an opportunity to do anything different on the boats in this very short 2 months?
No.
Okay.
We are planning on some changes for the summer, but for now it's the same as before.
Same.
Yeah.
All right, so comfy, relaxed, ready to rock and roll for 2020.
Yes.
How do you like the track?
I like it. It's different from what we had before, but I like it, and I hope we will have some waves. It's gonna be fun if we do.
That's such a coincidence because I kind of hope there are some waves too.
Yeah.
Because I know how much you guys like riding in that.
I think most of the riders want waves actually.
I agree.
Yeah.
So we've got parallel slaloms. Do you want to hit that tomorrow?
Yeah, I will try to qualify for that. Yeah.
All right.
Yes.
Well, let's see what happens. Hopefully we'll get the opportunity to see you top 4.
Yes.
We've got a little different thing on the slalom tomorrow. Everybody gets one run. They get a shot tomorrow.
Yeah.
And I think the course opens up in the morning. Did I understand that correctly?
Oh, I think it's between the motors actually.
Okay, great. Thank you for the update.
Yes.
All right, and they have one shot, 4 fastest times. We're going to watch tomorrow night in the side-by-side slalom. Hope you're in it.
Yes, hope so.
All right. Ladies and gentlemen, we just caught up with Jonna Borgstrom, who had her best year ever right here in 2019 and a spectacular finish in Sharjah. We'll see you tomorrow on Moto 1.
See you.
All right. Okay, you guys, you've been watching the action right here for the UIM-ABP Aquabike World Championship Tour. This is the Grand Prix of Kuwait. We'll be right back after this short break. We're back. Welcome back, by the way, to the Grand Prix of Kuwait. Busted taking selfies. That's what happens when you goof off. Thank you guys for joining us. Hey now. Got these guys. First, I thought they were overheating down there, but basically what they're doing is power washing. So all good under the hood, as they say. More of the victory team as they get these boats flushed from the salt water out of that bay. And interesting that this bay has a ton of salinity in it. It actually had a really cool fact on that. One moment while I hunt that down. Around Bahrain, approximately 40 ppt parts per thousand. Around Kuwait, about 45% salinity. So a higher salinity for these guys. Now, what does that translate to? Not a lot, other than it does make the boat slightly more buoyant. Is it noticeable? Probably not for you or I, but for some of these riders that depend on very precise handling, yeah, I think that those different buoyancies count. We had a lot of the guys listening in from Florida earlier. They could probably chime in on that because they ride in salt water an awful lot, and I know quite a few of you guys ride in salt water quite a bit. Chime in on does salinity affect you? Does it have an impact? Different bodies of water with different salinity. I always thought so, but I'd be curious to get your feedback. You're watching as they get the boats out of the water, and we get ready to go for some freestyle right here in the Bay of Selmia. Catch up with what's happening here on the live feed, and the internet's been going in and out on me as well, so if I haven't answered questions. Oh, yeah, great question. The opening ceremony, I do not know, actually. It's going to be at 5:30 tomorrow, our time, Kuwait City. So I would suggest checking in. I am hopeful that we will be broadcasting the side-by-side slalom, but I don't know. If they're not, we'll just make sure we get some footage for you. These guys are incredible, so I'm sure they'll get some footage and post it up on aquabike.net, so check it out. But if they don't, hopefully we'll get the opportunity to go live. I'll let you know. We'll keep you up to date. Yeah, that was a great question, Darius. I was trying to find out who it was. I will, if you don't mind, I'll actually post that later. Darius Oljanek asking, he said only 9 riders are on the track who did not start Q2. I will find out. I think it was Matea. Matea actually, Darius, took a pretty high-speed dismount on that front stretch. So I think you're right. I think it was Matea Fracasso that didn't get a chance to put down a time. They had to pull him out of there. Bitten Bergman saying love Jonna. I know, isn't she great? What a year. Thank you. Yeah, it was Matea missing, by the way. So much fun hanging out with you guys, especially this early on before we have too much racing around the world. It's kind of cool we got the whole shot on the season opener here. But man, if there's anything of all the calendar, we got racing all over the place this year. It's gonna be great. Be sure to check out aquabike.net and find out what other races we got. And speaking of cool things happening, it looks like the Wolf on the water. That's Roberto Mariani. Gonna be our first rider out in freestyle. Out and then back. I swear he has the coolest paint jobs. You can tell they haven't had much time between Sharjah, which was mid-December, and then we came right back out here. It's kind of sort of early, almost mid-February for our season opener in the Grand Prix of Kuwait. Man, I really got to hand it to all the local promoters and sponsors putting together a race in under 90 days. Special thanks to the Kuwait Water Sports Club for all their efforts on that, and also special thanks to Yosef Abdul Razak that helped make it happen as well. Happy National Day, which is going to be coming up in the city of Kuwait and Kuwait. It's the 25th of February. And Roberto Mariani heating it up as he gets ready to go. It's going to be our first freestyler of the 2020 year. He got second in almost every moto last year, ended up with a second overall in 2019. All about the twos. So in 2020, is it going to be more twos for Roberto Mariani, or is he going to have an opportunity to lock Rashid Al-Mullah out of a first place spot? He gets ready to go and sets up for a nice back flip. Going to go into a triple, and he generally does a nice combination on this first run. 4 back flips, does a quick series of 180s, another back flip facing into the beach. 180s, back flip. A lot of fun to watch this gentleman from Italy. Roberto Mariani is very well known for this mixture of old school, new school. Good 360, almost made a 540 out of that. Couple of big, quick 180s, another back flip. Lands it quite nicely just on the second half of that boat. Dropping that right plate in ever so gently, making a lot less stress for those joints. Off-camber barrel roll. Rides for Jet Revolution, aka the Wolf. He's a 14-year veteran, by the way. He's a coach builder in his day job. And that's the mixture of old school and new school that I was talking about. Throws out a little submarine. Nice setup right past the the checker buoys, those big Aquabite cans, and a one-hander lander on the backflip for Roberto Mariani. And there's a Superman throw. Anybody else but him pulled that off. That would just be a massive belly flop, but he turned it into the Superman, another signature move for him. And then this is more of the cool old school that he does. Some of the first tricks that we ever saw in the US when we saw freestyle come out was the fountain. Of course, back then they'd aim it to the crowd. We don't do that anymore, but we used to aim it to the crowd. We just take out everybody along the shore. But we've mended our ways mostly. Backflip, nice landing. Little quick setup and a backflip, and I bet you can figure out where all the judges are, because he's staying in a nice little section of real estate here, so the judges can very easily see all of the tricks that Roberto Mariani does. And again, great mixture of retro and ultra modern, and a very nice throw, big Ghost Rider or 360 throw, you can call either. Back in. Always, always, it's some mixture of neon yellow or neon green for him. Another one-hander lander. Some of the longest routines in freestyle. These are 3-minute routines. And a final backflip as the 15-second whistle came out, and that was the final whistle indicating the end of that routine. Great run for Roberto Mariani. And they're going to get that boat back out of the water. And Yaroslav Turner. going to be up next from the Czech Republic. Another rider with a great year last year. In 2019, he had a 4th overall, 3rd in the Grand Prix of Qingdao. It was his best year ever. He's 41 years old, lives in Lhota, Czech Republic. And man, if you've been around freestyle for more than about 20 minutes, you'll notice he's got a very signature setup. That Team Extreme boat that we've seen, it's orange and black on one side and then black and orange on the other, and he opens up without much ado and into a massive combination and very close to shore on that final bounce. 360s, 540s, backflip, making up the combination on his opener, and that is Yaroslav Turner you're watching. His first win, by the way, was the Czech Championship in 2005. He's a very athletic, very aggressive freestyle competitor. And you can see him walking these series of backflips across 6, 7, into a 180, another 180, and then he'll tail stand that out. Sorry about that, just back. All right, again, we're still watching Yaroslav Turner. 3-minute routine. We've got 5 judges, and they are going to judge on multiple things, variety. In fact, let me just pull that up so I can go over that for you. The bikes weigh approximately 100 to 125 kilograms with modified engines. They can produce in excess of 200 horsepower for these boats. And I love how aggressive Yaroslav Turner attacks these tricks. And he looks like that every time I see him come out and ride. He is a big man upper body. He's got a lot of strength in the upper body, and he uses that to his advantage. And you can see what I'm talking about, really pushing that boat around. 360, 360, big combination for that Team Extreme boat. All right, here's what they are giving this. You can get up to 100 points, 5 judges. We're looking for variety, barrel roll, and that's a 1-footer. 30 for quantity, 30 for style, and up to 5 for tricks without the use of hands or feet. Those points all equate to the rider's position in the allocation of the World Championship points overall. Again, 3-minute routines, even in the qualifying for the freestyle competitors. And this is our second competitor out today, Yaroslav Turner from the Czech Republic. Big execution as he walks those backflips in, getting into the more critical zone right in front of the judges, but also in more shallow water, and that adds to the degree of difficulty. A little flat water spin. More for transition than really trying to get points on that as he goes into that next combination of 180s and then the 1-footer. And waving to the crowd as he finishes up, and a great run for the gentleman riding for Jet Tribe, Yaroslav Turner. Oh my goodness. All right, 2 good backflips, and this is Paulo Nunes. Didn't waste any time, came right out there and popped 2 backflips and a 180. We've got 2 riders coming into this round, both injured, and he is one of them. Rashid Almola with a fractured shoulder. And Paulo Nunes also riding with an injury. Nice sub. Paulo, of all the competitors, the only one to come out there with a helmet, but smart move. And you can see why, as athletic as he is and as aggressive as he is in his riding. 2019 best was a 5th. Grand Prix of Sharjah. He ended up with a 5th overall in the World Championship Tour last year, Series of 180s, and that's a really good place to be. He's only been competing on the World Championship Series for a couple of years, being his 2nd. And I love this boat, Jet Revolution. Of course, that boat put together, the Revolver by Lee Stone. And actually, Lee Stone came out and helped Paulo Nunes get that boat tuned in last year when he first got it. Nice one-hander backflip, landed it with that one hand, a series of quick 180s. You're watching Paulo Nunes from Portugal. Him and his wife both compete on the UIM-ABP Aquabike World Championship Tour. You probably would recognize her as soon as I say her name. Joanna Grassa is the young lady that I am speaking of. Now, Paulo for years was actually helping Joanna on the tour as a mechanic and, you know, just all around crew when he's always wanted to compete in freestyle, and so last year got the first opportunity to do that. Great to have him with it. You're watching Paulo Nunes. He was the first person, by the way, to have a jet ski in Portugal. He's been going to see the races in Havasu since 1990. And an interesting little side note on him, he's actually a beekeeper. Him and his wife both raise bees. They make their own honey, and they're the owner of 6 beehives. I'm curious, that's got to take a huge amount of patience to manage 6 beehives. And who watches them when you're out goofing off? All right, great series of 180s there. You're watching Paulo Nunes from Portugal. Quick little hop pop. Got quite a few of the cameramen down there to catch that cool revolver. I love the iridescence of the wrap on the side of that. Runs right off of the wake and executes, it looked like it was going to be a barrel roll, executed a 360. That boat is growly too, which is cool. Again, they've got 3 minutes, so if they need to take a little respite, they can do that. Still have plenty of time to get some points on the board. Because this water is so flat, he's got to generate all of his own wake. Came over here to this other area as the red flag came out, had an opportunity for one more nice backflip. You are watching Paulo Nunes. Man, the water did get flat today, particularly this afternoon. It really dropped down. Hopefully we'll get some more wind tomorrow and some big waves as we start with the first set of motos. 3 motos for ski class, 2 for runabout. That's all going to start tomorrow. Don't forget, we got the opening ceremony tomorrow night. I will let you know if we're going to broadcast that live. Hopefully we will. We will be doing an entire ceremony, Parade of Nations Olympic style tomorrow evening, 5:30. We're putting that on in honor of the city of Kuwait for being our host. And in addition to that, we will be doing overnight, well, not overnight, because that means we'd be out all night, but we will be doing night parallel slalom. That slalom challenge will also happen tomorrow night, and that's going to be pretty cool as well. And we changed that up a little bit. Prior to that, we had it where the top 4 riders in the closed course division were invited to go do slalom. This year, we shifted that quite a bit. We're actually opening it up for all of the riders. So if you come out and you want to compete, everybody gets a chance to make one run. We're going to do that in between the courses tomorrow. They're going to do one run, and the fastest 4 times in those runs get the invitation to compete tomorrow night. So that should up the ante on the competition in side-by-side slalom. Again, all that action tomorrow evening right here in Kuwait City. All right, I was just standing by. We were just waiting to see if Rashid Al-Mullah was going to come out. I saw him earlier, and I'm not sure if he is going to get the opportunity or not. I know he fractured his shoulder this week, or it might have been last week, and it was in practice, and it was pretty nasty. He probably will be in the competition. I don't know if he'll be in the qualifier or not. We are looking out over the dock. I don't see him down there yet, but that doesn't necessarily mean anything. They have quite the trick to get these boats in and out. That sand is very deep. In fact, so deep we watched one of the tractors get stuck today. So it was like one tractor had to pull out the other tractor. Good times. It was like a tractor pull. No extra charge. All right, sounds like Rashid Al-Mullah is not going to be coming out for the qualifier. He's going to save that shoulder, which means we're going to call it a wrap this afternoon. Ladies and gentlemen, thank you for joining us for the season opener of the Grand Prix of Kuwait. We'll be back tomorrow with Moto #1. Don't you miss it.